Cary Prince, your certified professional organizer here in the kitchen. And oh, how I love to organize the kitchen. And there's a few reasons for this. First, it's the central hub of the home. It's literally the pulse of your home. Everything circulates around this very important room. It's where you store food to feed you and your family, where you prepare meals to nourish your body, and where you may refuel late in the day with a cup of coffee or tea, or even in the evening with a glass of wine. And speaking of wine, what party has ever happened that doesn't end up right here in the kitchen? It's the second reason why I love kitchens so much. They are the heart of the home. It's here where we gather with friends and family to break bread, celebrate, and just be together. That's why it's so important to make your kitchen an efficient, calm, and joyous space in your home. A big part of that is, number one, keeping it organized so it can run smoothly and efficiently, and number two, storing everything where it makes most sense. You'll then give this room the spotlight to take center stage in your home. Before I continue, I would love to ask that you consider subscribing to my YouTube channel at the link and button below. Now, on to the tips. There are 4 principles to organize your kitchen. The first principle is the kitchen triangle. The kitchen triangle is the most basic concept of kitchen layouts. It's the relationship between your refrigerator, your cooktop, and the sink and dishwasher. There are set measurements that define that triangle, and actually, as homes have gotten larger and smaller, that triangle has evolved into L shapes, like my kitchen, U shapes, galleys, and everything in between. The refrigerator, cooktop, and sink and dishwasher define what hub of activity is going on in your kitchen, how it's going on, and how things are flowing into and out of this space. So that is what's going to move us on to the next principle, the stations of activity. This is where the fun begins. What will happen on your kitchen countertops? I help my clients visualize where they would go for their coffee, where they're gonna make their power shake, where they're gonna slice their bread and toast it, where they're gonna cut their vegetables for their stir fry, or roll out pastry for a pie, or put out platters on a buffet for their family and friends. The countertop stations need to be identified at the very outset of an organizing project. You also need to think about which appliances are important enough and used often enough to merit that spot on the countertop, like your coffee maker, your blender, or your toaster. For all other appliances that don't meet that requirement, such as a mixer or a juicer, we look for other places to store those appliances. And that brings us to the next principle, zones of storage. Now, we're going to go above and below the countertops where everything is stored. Since you've already mapped out your kitchen triangle and you've assigned stations to your countertops, you can now come up with a plan on where things should be stored in cabinets and drawers, like coffee cups near the coffee station, glasses near the refrigerator, silverware near the dishwasher, so it's easy to unload. As you think about each item in your kitchen and where to store it, your kitchen tools are basically going to be divided into 4 categories: prep, cook, serve, and store. At this point, it will all become clear. Food preparation tools like knives, measuring cups, and mixing bowls should be stored in cabinets and drawers right there by the food prep station. Pots and pans should be located near the cooking station by the stove and the oven. Serving dishes can be stored a little farther away from the action and maybe where you're going to be plating food to take it onto the dining room table. And finally, storage wraps and containers should be kept in a more central spot, and I love storing those together when you're bringing food back to transfer it from a casserole, or maybe just covering it with plastic wrap to put it into the refrigerator. Now, you may have to make some compromises if one item is farther away from where you would ideally like to store its companion piece, but make choices based on what makes most sense and how often you're using that item. And that, my friends, leads us to the 4th and final principle, frequency of use. This last principle to keep in mind is that items should be stored based on how frequently you're accessing them. If it's used daily, it gets front and center attention. If it's something that only comes out to play for holidays or for very special meals like a fondue pot, that can go high on a shelf or in the back of a cabinet. This guiding principle should help you going forward to keep your kitchen organized and running efficiently. I hope these strategies help you organize your kitchen to make it the heart of your happy home. If you liked what you learned, I'd love for you to like this video, share it, leave a comment, and consider subscribing to my channel. And be sure to click the bell icon so that you'll be notified when I release a new video. From my home to yours, this is Cary Prince wishing you an organized, joyful day.